Welcome back to the Pre-Law Collaborative. I'm Susan Lee Bell, and I'm here today with my colleague, Christine Falcone, to talk about a somewhat awkward situation. What if you get to the end of the law school process and things are not what you expected? You don't have the choices that you hoped for, and you're asking yourself, well, now what? Should I wait for another cycle and apply again? Or should I go with some of the choices that I have? Or should I work for a year? Christine, what should people do? Should they wait?
Hmm. It's a great question, Susan, and this is not the scenario that people want to be put in. But the first thing we usually like our clients to do is to reassess their list. So if you do have options, there was a reason that those schools were on your list to start with, and maybe it's not the place that you really envisioned yourself going. But we've had clients who have gone to schools that they weren't quite sure were going to be the right fit and who are thriving and loving their experience. So first, have an open mind and let's really dig into the options that you have in front of you. But if that's not the case, then you really want to think about the next cycle and what might change. So your GPA is not going to change, right? That's set in stone. Although sometimes time can make it a little more open for you in terms of what that looks like to admissions counselors. But what might change? Will you have an additional work experience to add? Will you study for the LSAT? And look back at this. Did you study the way that you could have or should have? Is there room to grow in how you approach the LSAT? And so, are there things that you might be able to add to your application for next cycle that will help you look differently to the law school admissions counselors as they're reviewing your application for the second time?
Okay, so what won't change is your GPA, but what might change is your LSAT score if you maybe didn't have enough time to prepare. And also if you're a graduating senior, you might have work experience that could be really relevant. And lastly, you might just have not had sufficient time for your application. And so you wrote a personal statement, but you didn't have enough time to sort of refine and edit it. If you find yourself in this position and you need to make some of these tough choices, we have a couple of services that may be useful. Christine is a professional career counselor, and she can do a one-on-one with you in which she takes some of the fright and fear out of the job search or a job change. We can look to create a stronger application for you, or perhaps a list that gives you more options. Shoot us an email if you're interested, or go onto the website and sign up for a service or ask us a question. Thanks so much, Christine. It's a hard conversation to have, but a lot of people have to have it with themselves, and the outcome can turn out being great.
Yep, thanks, Susan.